Welcome to Digging History. I'm your host, James McCormick, and today I'm joined with our co-host, Corbett Perkins, a fellow U.S. Army veteran, a combat veteran, who will be discussing the benefits of relic hunting therapeutically and for fun. The purpose of this show is to bring together veterans, history, and the love of relic hunting to tell the story of those who served long ago. This show will tell the history of West Virginia while taking our veterans out to locate those precious artifacts and properly display and preserve them for the sake of history. We bring together technology including metal detectors, maps, and even drone technology needed to locate, film, and document these discoveries, allowing all citizens to see, and in some cases touch items that are in many cases older than our statehood. The veterans we work with on these projects will have an opportunity to tell their own story, and in the course of these expeditions find some therapeutic value of the experience and fellowship that these adventures provide. Today our show will focus on the benefits of metal detecting and how our co-host Corbett has found what he says is the greatest form of therapy, and in the process he has been connecting with fellow veterans and offers each a chance to come out and do a little digging with Digging History. Corbett, welcome to the show. Let us first start with giving you a chance to introduce yourself and tell our audience a little more about your military service and why this is so important for you to preserve history. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. My name is Charles Corbett Perkins. I'm from up Coalburg near Cabin Creek. I enlisted in the Army in 1995, graduated East Bank, left. I went to Fort Knox. I did some time as a 57 Echo at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and other forts. Then I got out, missed the military, joined the National Guard with the 150th. I was Alpha Troop up at Alloy. Then we went to Bravo. Then went to the Operation Iraqi Freedom 2 and came back, was discharged, medically discharged, and then medically retired. And metal detecting is a whole lot better than taking medication. I might sweat a lot and have to drink more water, but I don't have to worry about killing my liver. And it's peaceful everywhere I go. I've met some, I'm not really a people's person, but I've met some good people, and yeah, it's peaceful. I can sit out there and dig and talk to myself, and there's nobody out there to listen and look at me all goofy. Maybe the squirrels, bobcat or two maybe, I guess, but other than that. And it's, believe it or not, it is very therapeutic, and I invite every veteran, especially the ones with PTSD, call me. We'll go, and you'll see. You might have to walk a little bit, but we'll do it. And then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
So when you started metal detecting and you started to really look into this, what really drew this? What really drew you to say, hey, I want to really try this out? Was it just your love of history, or was it just you're looking for something to do?
Well, no, I have other hobbies. I play bagpipes, and I do woodworking, and I fool around with a little bit of leather, and of course firearms. But I've always been a history guy, and I wanted to go to school for archaeology and things like that, but as life happens, it didn't work. So I love just doing the history and even just little bullets. I'm holding a piece of history that another soldier fired at another soldier. So, and even wagon parts that I found. Even the square-headed nails. Some blacksmith had to take the time to hand forge that nail. So no, I love the history aspect of it too. And it is something to do, but like I said, it also is peaceful, and you go out and people normally just leave you alone, especially at Scary Creek. All those folks, they leave me alone and don't bother me, and I can sit there and have fun all day long until it gets dark. And I got a new metal detector which has a light on it, so you guys at Scary Creek probably see me out there at nighttime unless there's yellow jackets. and I'm not fooling with these.
So speaking of yellow jackets,
No.
so you had a couple of run-ins with yellow jackets, and that brings up an important aspect about safety. You know, I mean, you got to be paying attention to what you're doing out there. And people think that it's just metal detecting is just a couple of old guys on a beach swinging a metal detector.
No.
What's this metal detecting like? We're talking about
I'm going up
hillsides.
inclines. I'm going up hillsides, inclines, ridges. I've ran into just a couple black snakes so far. Squirrels. I think I had a bobcat tracking me. But them yellow jackets.
They're vicious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even at dusk, especially when they're all at their hive.
Well, speaking of your, I want to go back to your experience in the Army.
Okay.
Now, you and I actually, ironically, were in Iraq during the same time, and most definitely fought and served and was at least exposed to a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
I really, you know, this show's really about history and metal detecting, but I think it's also important to understand what soldiers, see, I was in a different position than you were in, but from your position, you know, what was your experience like in Iraq?
I was a gunner. I was a 240 Bravo gunner, and I did dismounted and mounted patrols. My father was at Rough Rider and later went to Caldwell. I went to a lot of places. My platoon was sent up north on the Iranian border a couple times, and so I've got to interact with Kurds. I've got to interact with the Sunni and the Shiites. So you get to learn who's who and who you... I hate to do the old cliche of the Vietnam guys, but you know who you can and who you can't trust. But we've been exposed to, don't get me wrong, I don't regret one thing I've seen, I don't regret one thing that I've done. But it does change you, so you just have to, my mother and my father, well, my father's a two-tour Vietnam vet, so he knew when I come home I wasn't going to be the same Corbett that left. Which, I mean, it is what it is. I signed up to do a job. I did my job. The only thing I regret is they kicked me out after 10 years.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't altogether your fault either. I mean,
No,
obviously
I got hurt.
Yeah.
It wasn't a combat wound.
Yeah.
I got hurt. My ACL snapped. I jumped off my vehicle, dismounted, and wasn't paying attention. So, yeah, but it is what it is. I'd do it all over again.
So your exposure over there, I mean, and obviously, you know, you were over there at the height of that
2004.
whole crazy time.
Same time you were there.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And like you, I think that it's wonderful that, you know, look, we're two totally different people. I mean, we came from two totally different backgrounds, and you can tell that, you know, I mean, not just by the way that our age is different, you know, I'm older, you know, obviously.
Not by much.
Not by much.
I'm more prettier.
And you're prettier than I am. But here we are, you know, out here we find this this bonding, and so when you come and you want to go do the metal detecting, not only are you an excellent, and I'm telling you, an excellent detector. You're a good one. But also, you also are using technology, like even taking your phone, and you are plotting every artifact we find. And you have a map that you can pull up, and not only does it show the map where we find the artifacts, it also has a map that you can tell us what those artifacts were. We found 15 nails here, or the one spot in Scary Creek that, you know, is on some private property, where we found all of these pistol bullets everywhere, 36 caliber pistol bullets. And we found horseshoes, and we found horseshoe nails, and we found other things that are very, very telltale of a cavalry battle. But whenever you pick up the book and you read about the book about Scary Creek, it talks a little bit about the cavalry. Yeah. But we're
talking,
talking
into detail about it. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking hundreds of pistol rounds out there.
Well, I found those buckles that look like maybe on horse harnesses too.
Absolutely.
Which I've not cleaned up yet. So I mean.
So we find some really cool things. And then, like you said, getting out there, number one, it's a physical activity. It's very challenging. It's this summer was terrible when we went out with the diggers.
The only thing I complain about is those yellow jackets.
Yeah, well, and the yellow jackets.
Yeah.
And that's why we always remind everybody, you know, go and, you know, make sure that you're ready. You know, wear your bug spray, take your water.
Camelbacks.
Camelbacks are great, you know, and I've got a grandchildren now, so I've got this, I take the 1 gallon jugs of the distilled water when my grandson's done drinking it all. I fill it and I write drinking water on the side of it. So I take a gallon of water out and pack it on a backpack because I'm old school like that.
When Brennan goes with me, AKA my cameraman, when I get the footage my other son, I got another boy who's 18 who's in Georgia Military College right now, so he'll graduate next year, and I'll pin his butter bar on him and make him a 2nd lieutenant and give him his first sir, congratulations.
Isn't that awesome?
So it's kind of weird me telling my son, congratulations, sir. But anyway, I bought Brennan, my cameraman, a Camelback too, so he's squared away. But with all that stuff, you have to make sure you have your water, have your first aid kit, have some of that bee sting stuff, take you some bee spray, bug spray. There's anybody who wants to go, just holler at one of us, and I'll give you a big list of everything you need to take with you, and I'll hump it for you. I mean,
and be ready to stay out
I've got
all
an
day.
assault pack. I'll throw it down there for you and hump it for you if you need me to.
And be ready to stay out all day because we don't play
if you go with
out
me,
there. Yeah.
If you go with me, you're going to be there from. Sometimes I'll hit Scary Creek about 07:30, and I won't leave that bad boy till about 19:30. Well, when the landowners kick me off or they come hunting for me, think I fell in a creek somewhere.
Well, with that being said, folks, we're going to go to some of our footage of this month's searches. We'll be right back with Digging History.
Welcome home, man.
James McCormick here and Digging History. And let me tell you folks something. If you're going to dig in Fayette County, West Virginia, you better be able to climb some hills. I want you to take a look at that. And working that way all the way up and down this hill. And let me tell you something, it's no easy task. So this is why I tell you folks to make sure that you get with your doctor, make sure that you don't get yourself overcommitted to things. Drink water, okay? And be sure you're footing, because if you look down here, I'm standing here on the side of the hill, and you may not be able to tell the angle, but I'm telling you, that's straight up and down. And you know, if you see my foot hanging off right there, and that goes straight down. Now there's a few little plateaus there that you can get to, but I want to tell you something. It is rough. So we're up here digging around Montgomery, West Virginia. We've been working with the mayor and the great folks out here, so we're trying to track down some history. We found a few things, a couple coins, nothing really old. Did find a coal miner's tag, so that's going to be cool to look at later. But I just wanted to kind of show you the kind of terrain we're out here on. And we go all over the state. We're going to start going all over the country. Man, it is no joke. And we've got, there's 3 of us that are combat wounded and combat veterans that are around here right now. And, excuse my hand there. And they're down on the lower half. So I don't know if you can see all the way down. They're down there, more towards the city. And I'm up here looking over what they call the heights. And there's actually a road that goes, I think it's an old stagecoach road. And so I'm gonna hit some of this area and then I'm gonna work my way down. But again, we let each other know where we're at, we communicate, And you know, Corbett, y'all know Corbett, you'll see him, more of him, a whole lot more of him, so on this show, but he's down there working with his wife. He's got his wife with him, and that's a wonderful thing. This is to show you the whole family can do this thing, and you can have a lot of fun at it. You just go do it. So, Digging History, keep up with us, watch us on YouTube, subscribe and like, and then I'm going to be sharing some of Corbett's footage, because I hear them down there screaming. So they're finding some cool stuff down there, probably a lot better stuff than I'm finding up here. So we'll catch you later.
It's Corbett with Digging History with James McCormick and Gun Truck LT. I'm here with my son, Brendan, aka Camera Boy. He's going to be my GoPro guy and filming whatever we find today. We're out here at Scary Creek again. We're going to try to, behind me they are logging the area that the actual skirmish line was on and everything, and which makes it a little bit better for me and James to dig out whatever we can. But I'm going to hit some of this, and we'll hit the creek, the skirmish line of the creek on the skirmish line, and try to get as much as we can today. And me and Brendan will probably come out tomorrow and get a little bit more. But for right now, we're going to hit this. Me and him's going to hit this right fast, and we'll see what we can find here before we lose daylight, because I got a little late start today. But we got us about a 3/4 mile hike back through there, so we're going to get started and see what we can find.
Doing a little late night digging, but of all the things I thought I would never dig up in a place like this in the middle of a town was a Union cufflink button. Go figure. There were a lot of Union troops here, though. I'd say that I'm going to find some more. So keep watching. Don't give up. This is the first good thing I found all day today. I found a buckle, but it's not. It might be Civil War, but it's not a U.S. buckle. That's coming though. So keep watching us on Digging History.
I'm not entirely sure if I'm actually on actual skirmish line or not, or getting close to it. My partner James isn't here, and he has the maps and whatnot, which I shall be researching. I have been researching Scary Creek for a little bit. I got a couple books on it, but got a good hit right here, and if you can see, it just looks like rocks. But that right there, setting my pinpointer off, is a chunk of iron or lead. It could be camp lead. It could be a fragment from a cannonball. I'm not entirely sure until I clean it up later on.
I'm up here in Fayette County, West Virginia, not far from Golly Bridge, where Wise's Legion was retreating from the Kanawha Valley. And it was chaotic, to say the least. And there were Union soldiers and Confederate soldiers all over the place. I think I found something that they either shot or they dropped. I don't know if it's a bullet. It sounds like a bullet. But the first thing I'm going to do is to remind everybody that's out into the woods to make sure that you're drinking your water. You get excited, you find something, let me tell you, get that adrenaline pumping. You've got to take care of yourself. So, safety first. Remember to hydrate. Alrighty. Let's see here. Oh, and it is a big boy. It is a huge 69 caliber 3-ring bullet. Look at that. That may have been shot or it may have been dropped, but it was laying in the hole facing that way. So if it was shot, then I could turn around and I could pretty much guess that it was fired from somebody back there, probably 200-300 yards. And I'll walk over that direction, okay? I marked a tree over there. There's a little knot hole in a tree, so I know I have a line of sight from this, because you get lost in the woods sometimes. And I'm gonna go check that area out next. But check it out, a piece of West Virginia history, baby, Civil War. God, can you imagine getting hit with that huge, massive bullet? That would rip off your whole arm. That would rip off heads and legs. God, amazing, just amazing. And you see it right here on Digging History with James McCormick on the West Virginia Library channel. And I'm gonna drop it in my little goodies bag. And we're gonna get busy finding some more. So, anyways, I know I'm goofy with this thing, but man, I love this stuff. Listen, just listen to this area, okay? Quiet, I'm on a hillside. Nobody's out here. Just listen. Just me and God and nature and my Fisher F75 metal detector with my wonderful shovel that my good friend and partner Corbett Perkins bought for me. Paid 40 bucks for this. I know how much he paid for it. He thinks I don't know. And he's gonna get that money back. 40 bucks. That's my friend, that's my partner. He's down at Scary Creek there right now, by the way. He found a button yesterday. A cool Union jacket, well, half of one, but it's still really cool to find anything like that. And he's found a 3-ringer bullet over there, so it's like we're on 2 different sides of the state and we're hitting this thing all at once, and it's like, boom, pow, man, we're finding Civil War history. Scary Creek happened, and then they moved their way down here, and they were fighting down here. Man, don't you just love history? You've got to get involved in history. Think about it, the Kanawha Valley Campaign in West Virginia. This is the reality of digging, folks. This is all my junk. And there's a lot of it. Shotgun shells. These are the bane of my existence, I'm telling you. Let me show you the cool stuff that I found. Number one, ta-da, the 3-ring bullet. 3-ringer Civil War bullet. I always love finding these. Found this here in Lewis County. Did find some more Civil War lead. Found pistol round. Another possible part of a round ball, pistol round. So that's my Civil War artifacts right there. All lead Civil War artifacts. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Very pleasantly surprised. Okay, coins. 1, 2, 3, 4 Lincoln Memorial cents, 1970s. 1, 2, 3 dimes, no silver dimes. But I did find this jewel right here. So, y'all know what that is. I have really hit the mother load on these. This is a 1942, kind of a common date. Silver $50. Great find. And then I found, looks like a piece of a chain. It could possibly be gold. I'm gonna check it out though. So that is the digging finds for the day. This is quite therapeutic, and you may just want to get out and do it. I mean, I am drenched in sweat. Plus, you get your exercise for the day. But it is quite, especially when you do pull something out of the ground. You know, like I showed you earlier today, all I got was the modern
rounds that came out of the ground.
But you did find a cannonball fragment.
Yes, I did, and I found a buckle that, I don't know, maybe it went to a scabbard or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it looks like it was attached to leather at one point in time.
Awesome. Real cool stuff, man. Well, thanks for coming out with me today.
No worries, we're going to do this again, believe that.
Boy, those are some great finds and awesome memories made in those surges. Hey, Corbett, it's been great having you on here on the show with me. I know we search a lot together, but you're going to be a regular on this thing from now on. And I wanted to also tell folks, you know, take a trip down to your library or go here to the Cultural Center, and they have a wonderful selection of books about the Civil War. Now, what you're seeing here is the Coal River Valley in the Civil War. And folks, that's the next place that we're going to go to start hitting hard with Digging History. Now, I want to thank you for watching Digging History and honoring the sacrifice. And I want to put out a special thank you. It goes out to all of the folks at the West Virginia Library Commission for your support and your access to books and historical articles that help us locate and bring history alive. Remember that some of the greatest adventures is just a short trip to your local library. And it's a tremendous resource that's free for us to use. But before we get out of here, I also want to talk about the West Virginia Archives and History Department in the West Virginia Cultural Center, and also remind you to get your kids involved in history through their local schools, by participating in the History Bowl, visiting your local library, and of course, watching the great shows available on the Library Channel. In addition, we wish to thank Fisher Research Labs for providing us technical and material support to make this show a success. A special salute also goes out to our veterans involved in this show who got the chance to learn some things about history and themselves. And to Beth Garrigle, our producer, who took the time to help us create this show. Your service is truly invaluable. And lastly, to the Library Television Network, who brings this to you and allowed us the opportunity to take it on the road. We say thank you. Please be sure to watch for all future episodes of Digging History. Have an awesome day, folks, and remember that a day digging history beats a day on the couch. So get to digging.